Welcome. It is great to see everyone this morning. Thanks for being here. You're here because this is exactly the right spot for you in this very moment. And we're so blessed to be able to share this moment together. So thank you for following your own sense of this is what I need to do. It's cool. Let us pray together. We accept the peace of this very moment. We accept the health that can flow through our being, our body, and our mind, our spirit. We accept the joy, knowing that nothing needs to change in us. We just need to relax, let go of ideas and desires that really are a burden to us at times, and to accept what comes to us in truth and purity and wholeness. We accept love. And therein, we know we are exactly who we need to be. We are love. So joyfully, we celebrate being in this moment together. Amen. Okay, I think we're going to have a song. How about that? What's up? Oh, you're singing.
Yes. And this is a new song we are learning together. So, our words is God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. My God is so good to me. And they'll be up on the board and join Terry on it's a call and response.
This is Ricky Byers' tune. I know many of y'all know Ricky's stuff from California out there. And we used to do it at the Springfield Unity Church. I thought we had done it here too when I sent it to Chuck. But you'll enjoy it. It's simple. I got all your parts are on my track. So sing along. Let me get it.
You can stand up, dance, whatever you like. Just sing along.
I got up this morning singing.
God is so good.
I said I got up this morning singing.
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing.
God is so good. My
God is so good to me. Put on your glasses. Feeling good down in my soul.
God is so good.
Oh, feeling good down in my soul.
God is so good.
My God is so good to me. Now, in my time of trouble,
God is so
I
good.
say now, in my time of trouble,
God is so good.
yes, in my time of trouble,
God is so good.
my God is so good to me. And in the good times, my time of triumph, I know
God is so good.
in my time of triumph,
God is so good.
yes, in my time of triumph,
God is so good.
my God is so good to me. So it's all the time. When the day is over, I'm singing.
God is so good.
Oh yeah, when the time is over.
God is so good.
When the day is over, I'm singing.
God is so good. My God
This is a little
so
different now.
good to me.
Every
Every
day,
day and
every
every
way.
way.
God is so good. Oh, every day.
Every day and
every
every
way.
way. God is so good.
My God is so good to me.
day and
Every way.
every
Get shut.
way. God is so good.
Every
day and every way. God is so good.
Every day.
Time to praise the Spirit. Time to praise the Spirit.
Take the time to praise the Spirit. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, my God is so good to me. Well, I got up this morning singing,
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing,
God is so good.
oh, I got up this morning singing,
My God is good.
my God is so,
To me.
my God is so, my God is so good to me.
Woohoo! All right. Thank you, Derek.
You guys did good.
We'll have to work on our soul movement here. We'll get it.
Can't get that band to quit.
All right, let us share in this affirmation of faith together. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. We believe every person is an expression of God, and our thoughts have creative power. Inspired by Spirit, Unity of the Hills fosters unconditional love and acceptance by embracing diversity, creating an environment that encourages people to love one another and grow together. I'm glad we rehearsed this one. Okay. Yes, yes. Let's go with it. Just cue me in when I start singing. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of Spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. There's a break. Are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice and Spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of Spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are, you are the heart, you are the hands, you are the heart, you are the hands, we are the heart, we are the hands, we are the heart, we are the hands. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the heart, I am the hands. I am a blessing to the world. coordinate your music with the slide. Just a bit. We don't have some of the lyrics up there. Anyway, we'll work on that. It's not about being perfect. It's about being. Cheryl Ann, would you come and share our daily word?
Yes, the daily word today is on guidance. Sometimes I have insisted on figuring things out for myself rather than asking for anyone's help. Over the years, I have learned the value of asking for guidance and sharing what I've learned when others ask me. And as we exchange ideas, we may tap into a higher wisdom that had not been apparent to either of us alone. This higher wisdom is not outside myself. It is a still, small voice, mine to call upon at any time. I'm always able to ask for guidance to show me the way forward. I access my inner guidance by opening my mind and heart in prayer. Then I watch and listen, remembering that divine guidance may come in a familiar way or perhaps in an unexpected way that will surprise and delight me. And from Isaiah chapter 55, verse 9, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Let's say the affirmation together. I open my mind and heart to receive my guidance.
For those visiting, I don't normally sing much, but I've had to because of this corona thing. So I'm trying to learn a little better. But have you ever noticed that when you're feeling good, your world looks better? A problem that seemed a problem yesterday, when you're feeling good, you can handle it. It's better. Have you ever wondered why? Because you're tapping into that essence of you, which is God, the good. And to feel good means you're pulling God through you. And it's something that songwriters and poets have known for eons. This particular song was done by Irving Berlin. It's very old, probably 30s. You'll know it. But it talks about that. And you can always tell when you're closer to God, because the closer you are in alignment with God, the better you'll feel. When you're feeling sad, when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling a negative feeling, you're out of alignment with the God that created you. So I think I'm trying to do this anyway. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue sky. Can I see bluebird singing a song? Nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Knowing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, but bluebirds all day long. Never know the sun shining so bright, never saw things looking so right. Nothing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, bluebirds, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies all the day long. Nothing but blue skies coming at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you ever want to stretch, you're welcome to do whatever on your mind and heart here. Even
Yep.
if it's not your field of expertise, you can grow and be here. So that's awesome. It's one of the things I value most about this community. Well, today, Joy is going to bring us joy. How about that?
Joy.
Thank you for being here to speak with us.
It's my prop. Well, hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Joy Roby. If I haven't met you before, I see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of faces that I've never seen before. And today is my birthday. So I am so grateful that you allowed me to come here and share a message with you here today. And I want you to know that I have two very special people in my life that are doing a rib cook-off at my house after church, and you are all invited. Marilyn can give you the address if you're interested in joining us. So I have a song that's been stuck in my head for a couple of weeks now. And I think you're going to know it. And I invite you to sing out loud once you hear it. Okay? And I'm not a singer. This is really hard for me. But I'm going to do it anyway because it's my birthday and I think you'll cut me a little slack. It goes like this. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him I love. They are weak, but we are strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Doesn't that feel good? I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. I want to talk about something today that I am very passionate about, and I've discovered recently that it triggers some people. So see where you find yourself on the spectrum. And what I want to say about that is, if you find yourself triggered, stick with me, okay? Because what I've learned recently is that it's just the words. Some words really trigger people. But yet the message, sometimes we will shut off a message because a word triggered us. So what I want to talk about to begin with is, for those of you who've seen me speak before, you know that I am a recruiter of miracle workers. That I believe in miracles. I think we all can do miracles on a daily basis. And I am recruiting miracles. And I think right now, the world needs miracles. What do you think? Think the world could use some miracles? Yeah, the world could definitely use miracles. According to A Course in Miracles, a miracle is simply a paradigm shift. It's just another way of looking at something. And a miracle worker is the person who is constantly looking for that perspective. They're constantly looking for that way of thinking and that way of viewing the world that is love. Because all there is love and fear, right? There's a lot under the fear category, definitely. And sometimes our ego likes to tell us that it's not really fear, you know, it's not really fear, it's, you know, you're scared, or, you know, you're hurt, or it might be a word that you don't actually associate with fear, but if it's not love, what is it? Fear. That's all. It's so very simple. So miracles take place when we think differently, right? And I want to say that when I was thinking about my birthday, I thought, wow, God thought I was a good idea. God thought you were a good idea. All of you, you would not be here today if God did not think that you were a good idea. Right? And you wouldn't be sitting in this church right now if A, you weren't my friend. But they've already heard all this anyway. Or B, you weren't a miracle worker. So I want to say that you're all miracle workers right now anyway. Now here's the triggering part. I'm going to warn you, because Marilyn told me to be very careful about this. And Marilyn's my coach, so I think we got lazy. I think we got spiritually lazy. Because when you think about it, Jesus did amazing things, right? We can all agree upon that. I mean, he walked on water. He turned a couple loaves of bread into a whole bunch of food to feed thousands of people. He turned water to wine. He healed people by placing his hands on them. I mean, he did amazing things, right? He also said we could do those things. You can do those things. All of you. You can do the same thing. The only difference between us and Jesus is Jesus had a disciplined mind. Now, there's the word nobody likes. There's the word, let me rephrase that. There's the word that some people don't like, disciplined mind. And, you know, I can change it. I can say Jesus had a trained mind, but it still comes down to discipline. It comes down to making a choice about what you're thinking. It's so simple. It is just so simple. And we get hung up on words like discipline. Some people, probably nobody here right now, well, maybe one person that I know of, gets hung up on the word God. People get hung up on the word Jesus because they grew up in a way that it has an association with something that they think is not safe. They think they're in a state of fear. But when you think about it, Jesus, we just sang that song that we probably all learned as kids. Jesus is a beautiful name. Yeshua, beautiful name. God, we say source energy, we say the universe, we say all of that. But there is no more powerful word than God. At least in our belief system, right? I mean, different religions have the same word for the same thing, but these are powerful words. Jesus said, I'm no different than you. The difference is that I have much less than you. Now, what did he mean by that? Less emotional baggage. He didn't get hung up on the words. He was looking for the meaning of it. He was mentally disciplined. If a fearful thought came into his mind, he was able to create a miracle. By how? He changed his perspective. He thought, now how can I see this horrible thing that's happening right now as something good? And he changed his perspective, and the change in perspective becomes the miracle. It's just so simple. Well, I was thinking about that. God sent me. Jesus is amazing. I can do the same things. At the same time, I'm thinking, our world is a mess. There's so many things happening. There's still starving children. There should be no starving children. And then I realized, well, God sent Jesus at a time in need. God sent you. God sent you. God sent you. God sent me. God sent all of us. But I think we got spiritually lazy. I think we're not mentally disciplined. I often sit in church and in my own spiritual community, and I work with a lot of different spiritual groups. I do my daily meditation. I read spiritual books. I take classes. I love to talk about this stuff. Don't you? Don't you love to find somebody like-minded and just talk to them about the latest book you read and all the things that you're learning? You get so excited about it, right? Well, I recently felt really stuck. Anybody ever felt stuck before? Okay, I recently felt stuck, and which was a surprise to even me because I teach people how to get unstuck. And so I didn't even really want to admit it to anybody. I did things like, my team was asking me, you really need to launch this new program, Joy. We really need to get this out in front of people. And I said things like, I don't have time. I'm too busy. I got so much going on. The truth is, I was stuck. I couldn't find the passion around it. I kept promising myself I would go into the meetings and they'd say, Joy, you need to do Facebook Lives. You need to do Instagram. They'd schedule it. You're going to do it at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. Guess what? My alarm on my phone goes off at 1:45, and I go, I think maybe I need to go to the ATM right now. I mean, I was personally sabotaging myself, and I even knew I was sabotaging myself. The truth is, I wasn't being true to me. I wasn't keeping my own promises, and I was out of integrity. And I didn't like it. Didn't feel good. As Buddy was talking about, or as Terry was talking about, I wasn't in alignment with my thoughts. So, fast forward a couple months later, I'm still stuck, but I'm not admitting it to anybody. I've found more excuses, I have to travel, my printer's out of paper, whatever, right? Doesn't really matter. And so I was having dinner with a couple friends of mine, And we were talking about life coaching programs. And both of us had just spent a lot of money on a life coaching program to help us get unstuck. And I was telling a story about my brother because one of the reasons that I got on the spiritual path 10 years ago was because I had a falling out with my family over business. And I didn't speak to them literally for a decade. I just kind of went a different direction. And my coach said to me, I had a dollar amount in my business that I couldn't seem to get beyond. No matter what I did, I always came up against that same dollar amount. And so my coach said to me, well, you need to have mentors. And the mentors have to be people who have done what you want to do, but you're actually a little nervous to ask them. Well, my brother's a billionaire. He took the business that we had a falling out over, and he turned it into something really amazing. So guess who I was the most nervous to ask to be my mentor? And I fought it for a little while. Like I was how am I going to have that conversation, right? I haven't spoken to him, and now I want to pick his brain. So eventually I called him up, and I told him that, this coaching program, blah, 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 walked him through the circumstance just like I did you. And on the other end of the phone I thought he was crying. I thought he was choked up. We instantly had a miracle. Instantly had a miracle. And he went on and he gave me some really good advice. He told me, quit thinking about the number. Quit thinking about the dollar amount that you want. He said, I'm going to challenge you to do 4 times that number. And what did that cause me to do? Get unstuck with the number. I had to think differently, right? I had to think, oh my God, if I can't hit this number, how do I hit that number? And it caused just the pure activity of thinking differently about it caused me to start doing things differently. And guess what? Within 9 months, I think, we hit the number, the 4X number. So then he told me something really interesting. He told me that when we had our falling out and we went different directions, he was nearly bankrupt. The business that we did together was nearly bankrupt. And that it was Christmas time, and his wife had left him, and it was really, really hard. So this is why I was getting no response from him. Like I was a fly on the wall. I was sort of an annoying gnat at that point. And then he went on to tell me that he was going to have to lay off 1,000 people from his business at Christmas time. And it really tugged on his heart. And he needed a bank loan. So he went to the first bank that he knew, and he asked them for a loan, and they said no. And he went to the second bank that he knew, and they said no. And he went to 5 banks, and they said no. And he went to 25 banks, and they said no. He went to 50 banks, and they said no. He went to 84 banks, and they said no. But the 85th bank said yes. Now, how often do you hear stories like this of people who do amazing things? It didn't just happen. They thought about it, they turned their body in that direction, and they made it happen. They were mentally tough. They were mentally disciplined, like Jesus. I'm not saying that my brother is Jesus. He's got his own problems in other areas. But the point is that he wanted something, and he went after it, and he did it. So I'm talking to my friend about this that I went through with my brother, and my friend says to me, oh yeah, it's all about mental toughness. And it's so funny for me to stand up here and talk about this, because in spiritual communities, we don't really like to talk about thinking. It's all, everything's from the heart, right? And I am the first one to say it is from the heart. But what I've learned recently, and I'm going to share this with you in a book that I read, was that it is from the heart. It's definitely from the heart. But we cannot forget the brain. The brain is what we're doing most of our activity on. Do you know the American Psychology Association says that 95% of our thoughts are on autopilot. We don't even think about them. We're completely subconscious. We get up in the morning, we go make coffee, we get in the car, we drive to work. Half the time when we get to work, we didn't even think about how we got there, right? We get in the shower, we're on autopilot 95% of the day. And did you know that 80% of your thoughts are negative? It's not your fault. It's really not your fault. I mean, this is not about blame. This is about awareness. 80% of your thoughts are negative, and your cells get addicted to the thoughts that you have the most, which means you are addicted to your negative thoughts. That's why we have to be mentally disciplined. That's why we have to be aware of what we're thinking, because if we're not, we're just on autopilot. And here's the thing that we all know, we hear the saying all the time, right? Thoughts are things. So what are we doing? 80% of our thoughts, we're just doing the same negative things over and over and over again. So my friend was telling me about this book called 75 Hard. And he said, it's all about being in integrity to yourself. It's all about making a promise to yourself and keeping your promise and showing yourself that you can actually keep this promise. Now, let me tell you what the requirements of this are. The way this works is, and this is the part where you're either going to go, I am so in joy, I'm doing that too, or you're going to go, whoa, that's just so crazy. So what this guy, his name is Andy Frisella, said, and I can tell you that all of the women in here, we are not his target market. Maybe a handful of the men, but if you go and look him up on Google, you'll see that he is this like 40-year-old bodybuilder, and he uses the F word in every sentence, So most people go and look at his videos and they go, they're just like immediately, disgusted with him, actually. I listened to his video and I go, ew, But then I was listening to what he was saying, and he was talking about, people do great things when they're mentally tough. Because like my brother, if he wanted to not lay off 1,000 people, this wasn't even about business really for him. It was about not having to lay off 1,000 people. If he wanted to not lay off 1,000 people, he had to get really mentally tough. So this is what 75 Hard is about. Basically, you make a promise to yourself for 75 days, and if you miss any of it in any way, you start over again. So it's an ongoing promise. I only know one person so far that hasn't had to start over again, Kristen. But so a bunch of my friends are doing this program, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. So this is how it works. You read 10 pages of a self-help book every day. Now, most of us can do that. That's not a problem. In fact, we probably already do it. You drink 1 gallon of water every day because we're mostly dehydrated. That was actually the trickiest part for me. I thought I was doing pretty good. You follow some kind of an eating plan. It doesn't have to be a diet, but it has to be healthy. It has to be clean eating. It has to be something that is a little bit of a stretch for you. So I wasn't trying to lose weight, but I found that I was eating really late at night, like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. So that was my eating plan, is I have to eat by 7 o'clock. Let me tell you, it's really hard. You know, you're going over to someone's house and it's getting to be 6:30 and you're thinking, oh my God, if we don't eat soon, I'm not going to get to eat, because I'm going to keep the promise to myself because I want to stay in integrity. The second one is a little bit trickier for some of us. You exercise twice a day for 45 minutes each, and it has to be 3 hours apart, and one has to be outdoors. Now, why would he make that specific like that? Well, because we could probably all get 45 minutes a walk in, right? But it's tricky. Like, you have to think about your day. You have to plan your day. You want to get up in the morning and get that exercise going, and you don't want to be exercising at 11 o'clock at night. And here, you know, when I was in California, no problem, right? Here, I have to check the weather because I don't want to go out when it's really hot, or, you know, I'm going to go 75 days into ice weather, snow weather. And then the final one is that you take a selfie of yourself in front of the mirror every day, every single day. And the idea of that is that change happens slowly. So you won't see the change right away. You start to see it after week 3 or 4. And one of the things that Andy says is, this is not an exercise program. It's not about exercise. I mean, you exercise in the way that you're able to. And it's also not a diet. It's not about losing weight or building muscle or anything like that. That could possibly be the outcome of what you've done. So it's a little bit crazy. There's also no meals or no cheap meals or no alcohol. And so I started telling my friends about this program, and I started getting the most interesting responses because I was excited about it. I wanted to be unstuck. I wanted to be, you know, all that I could be. I want to be like Jesus. I want to walk on water. I want to do this, right? Why? Because I'm passionate about us, miracle workers, changing the world. And the way we do that is we start with ourselves. Okay? So I started telling my friends about this program. Now, mind you, I never said you should do this to anybody. I just said, oh, I'm doing this thing, and I explained it just like I explained it now. I got the most interesting responses. Like, one person said to me, most people, like about 50% of the people, said, oh, I'm so in. I am tired of this COVID hangover that I've had now, and I am so ready to be disciplined. I'm so in. That was about half the people. The rest of them basically gave me very interesting responses. Like, one person said to me, oh, that's perfectionism and that's a sickness. And then they sent me an article from the World Economic Report about how our society is killing ourselves with perfectionism. Another person said something that really got me thinking. She said, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And then she said, I'm already happy. And it really made me stop and think, because I thought, am I doing this because I'm not happy? No, I'm a pretty happy person. I like my life. I was doing it for growth. I was doing it to get out of my comfort zone. I was doing it to get unstuck. The best answer I got was from my sweetie, which is probably why he's my sweetie, and he said, how can I support you? Which I think is probably the healthiest response of all, right? Well, I did pretty good at this challenge for about 14 days. And I kept saying to my friends, you know, I'm doing really well because now I'm doing Facebook. Now I'm doing Instagram, like my team, because I now have something to talk about, something I'm passionate about, something that I'm seeing is making a difference. And I kept saying on my Instagram videos that, you know, this is actually pretty good. I like the exercise. I like the 7 o'clock is working. But I keep finding that I don't drink enough water. And, you know, just before I go to bed, I have to drink a whole quart of water. And then I'm up all night, you know. You can imagine, right? And and then the other thing was I'd forget the selfie. I'd forget to take the selfie. So it was the little things, right? God is in the details. The little tiny things that I was forgetting. Then Marilyn said, hey, Joy, I got carrot cake for your birthday because I know you love it. And then I was like, oh, no cheat meals, right? So my mind is working. I'm already repeating the pattern of I keep forgetting my water and I keep forgetting my selfie. And the next day I woke up in the morning thinking I had done everything perfectly. Standing in the kitchen talking to Carl, realized that I still have a quart of water that I didn't drink. I have to start over. But I get carrot cake. You see how that works? I get carrot cake. So today I get carrot cake because I changed the promise. I did start over, like, I think it was 5 days ago when this happened. I did start over, but going into it, I said, I'm going to do it exactly the same, except I get carrot cake on my birthday. That's the difference. I'm still in integrity to myself. So I look at 75 hard and I think, you know, okay, I did self-sabotage. But isn't that such a great example of what we do every day? So why am I telling you this story? It's because I am so passionate about and believe this so much that we have to have a disciplined mind. You know, we all want to experience angels and God and all of this wonderful energy that's built around spirituality. But the truth is that, and we want to manifest, we talk about the law of attraction and all these other things, but the truth is we can't get there without having a disciplined mind. It's really interesting because when I sat down to write this talk, I did a lot of research on quantum physics because I wanted to understand what it is. And, you know, I never even took physics in college. My kids think it's a riot that I actually got through school without ever taking physics. And so I read, you know, Physics for Dummies and those kind of books that narrowed it down. And what I realized is that A Course in Miracles and physics, it's the same thing. Like, that would make another great talk, what I discovered. It's the same thing. You know, the things that we say, thoughts are things. Your outer world's a reflection of your inner world. You know, it's just BS, which is belief system. That is all quantum physics. And it's exactly what A Course in Miracles talks about. I mean, it was really fascinating figuring that out. So I did start over, and I'm back on track again. But the truth is that we want to manifest. We want a better world, right? Everybody wants a better world. We want no more war. We want everybody to have enough to eat. We want everyone to be happy. We want these things, right? But it starts with us, and it starts with our thinking. Because when we start thinking about whatever the problems are, and we get all emotional and caught up in it, we're actually, according to quantum physics, we're contributing to those problems. Okay, so here's the thing, is that I have 2 tools for you that can help you because it's really a matter of awareness. Once you're aware of your negative thinking, you can stop yourself and you can get a miracle. I mean, it's that easy. All you have to do is go, how do I want to think about this? What's the other way? And the two tools that I have are these little stretchy bracelets. You can get them anywhere. Guys, you can wear those rubber ones. And every time, and this is not about pain. I know there was another Unity minister that said you should flick yourself. I don't believe in pain. So basically all you do is you have a negative thought, slip the bracelet off and put it on the other wrist. The idea is you do this for 21 days until you break the thought. But I guarantee you, if you just focus on the thoughts, you'll find yourself breaking your negative habits quicker. And another thing you can do is when you do find yourself triggered, because we all get triggered, you know, we're not Jesus. We're human. That's why we're here right now. But when you do get triggered, ladies, wear your scarf and just go like this. Just create a little space for yourself. Take a deep breath. Figure out what it is you really want to think about. What miracle you want to create, right? And then go back to your daily life. It's really that easy. Nobody got triggered. Thank you very much for letting me share those thoughts with you. Should we take a moment to pray? Or meditate, whatever word you like. Dear God, we ask for a miracle. We ask for a shift in our thinking so that we can better serve you in the way that you would have us serve you. We ask for you to help open our mind, help us to become disciplined, and work with us as we work on training our own mind so that we too can become a miracle worker for the world. We are so grateful that you thought we were a good idea. We are so grateful to be here on the planet today and to have this amazing opportunity to do your work and to love our lives while doing it. Because we know all there is love. And so it is. Amen.
Thanks, Joy. In my travels over the years, I've met a lot of ladies named Joy. I did. And you're the only one I've ever met that actually was a Joy.
Oh, thank you.
It's really strange. But that's the truth. You're
Thank
very
you,
joyful.
Terry.
I always like that. And I've been reading a lot of the quantum physics stuff. It's been around, pretty popular since the 90s, and we still don't teach it in high school.
It's been around since 1887.
So, it's been around, but it's just, but I mean, was in the mainstream, and they still don't teach it in high school. It's kind of a disappointment. They don't want you to know that your thoughts are creative, and yet science proves that daily. So, I was lost for the second song today, and so I want to play something that. I think I get everything queued up here. This is actually a musical piece that I wrote 20 years ago, and I titled it Joyful. And like I said, when you feel good, you're in touch with God. And the thing about it is that you don't have to, something that's making you feel bad, you don't have to look at that topic and feel good. It's okay to change the topic, the important parts that you feel good. And you reminded me when I was in sales, direct sales for a long time, and moved into management. And management means you have to train people. And, I had learned how to sell my quota for the day, and now I got to teach other people to do it. And what I found out, they said, hey, if you go through 40 doors in a day, you'll make 10 sales. Well, I was focusing on the wrong part. When I would take people out, I've got to show them how to make 10 sales. And I would flunk every day. I'd be nervous as heck and all that. And I just flipped it. I could go through 40 doors. And when I got my perspective back in order, the sales just naturally followed. It's just weird that it's the same info, but it's the syntax, the order that you put it in, that makes a difference in how it came out for me. So just, if you got a challenge, try to flip it before it flips you. If I can do it, hopefully my little beat here is going to be what I want.
Marilyn, that was a wicked play with the carrot cake, by the way. I used to love. It used to be one of my favorites. Now it's too sweet for me. Ooh, but today's a beautiful day. It's amazing to see so many people gathered together here this morning. I know many have come probably because of joy, but it just feels good to have this sense of normalcy back again. So thank you for being a part of that. And thank you for the gifts you bring in your journey, how you manifest love to one another, to others, how you care for our world and the things that are that you can reflect upon and somehow positively influence. Um, if we don't understand how profoundly important this kind of thinking and spiritual path, how important it is today, hopefully we will soon. But I think it's incredibly essential. Jesus said where 2 or 3 are gathered. He didn't say where 1,000,000 are gathered or 100 million. He said 2 or 3. Small is not small in the world of manifestation. It's limitless. So what you bring, what you manifest, express, we bless this day. We have so many. Guess we're going to give a shot at those that want to come and bless with some gift. We have a basket up here for that. We have some treats over here in a little bowl. Please get one. We have some little affirmation slips in another bowl. And then we have a prayer basket there. And if you want to express a prayer of yours into that, we would be very happy to share in praying with you for that. We don't know what it is. Spirit does. And all we do is say, go for it, Spirit. It's in your care. So let us start with this side and come and or however you want to be in this moment of gratitude and blessing. Do what you want to do. So if you will, let us bless the gift brought forth. And Spirit, take this wonderful gift and multiply it and use it. And we just celebrate that we here have few challenges, but abundance of Spirit to bring into this world. Thank you. Amen. Okay. Let us sing. You can stand if you like. Probably ready for a stretch again. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am saved. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I am well, I am well. All is well, all is well. I am well. Before the prayer, we're having a spiritual community meeting afterwards, and we're not going to be making decisions as much as we're going to be gaining awareness of some matters to consider. And but everyone is certainly welcome to be a part of that process, and we welcome you. We'll get together pretty quickly, so make your restroom run or whatever, come back, and hopefully within about 10 minutes we'll be able to get started. Okay? Now, let us share together the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever I am, I am. Yay, go in life and joy and celebration.